Many of the members stood up, yelling out, "Your Imperial Majesty!" Sit. In this location, we are all equals and do not fall on such formalities, the Emperor stated as he motioned for the others to sit down as he and his children, along with a woman, walked into the room. "I kind of enjoy seeing them all flustered," one of his sons sneered at the members. "You would enjoy such simple things," the Emperor's daughter commented, causing the other to glare at her. The Emperor noticed Frederick and said, "I see that you have made it to the meeting, Frederick. I hope to talk about how you have caused me to lose hundreds of soldiers as they entered your kingdom. Those men were supposed to have free access to your kingdom in order to gather volunteers, but I learned that they were all killed. I hope that you are not thinking of backing out of our agreement." Standing up quickly, Frederick denied such actions. "Your Imperial Majesty, I would never dream of backing out of our agreement. I am as surprised as you are about the attacks against the Imperial soldiers and knights. The kingdom has no connection to such things." Frederick's face was covered in sweat as he tried to convince the Emperor. There was a shadow across the room as everyone held their breath. Glancing over to Samworth and Elizabeth, Helania found it interesting how calm they appeared. Elizabeth was intently looking at Frederick, while Samworth had a hidden look of amusement. The Emperor's face broke out into a grin, eliminating the oppressive atmosphere. Several of the men and women breathed in after holding their breath for so long. "It appears like I have won the bet, Your Majesty," Elizabeth quietly murmured. "I need to stop gambling against you, Countess, though it also indicates your ability to disseminate information. Your assistant seemed convinced that it was Frederick and his personal shadow group acting against us." The Emperor sighed at having lost, but didn't appear too surprised. "Alan is an imbecile, and one of these days his stupidity will get him killed," Elizabeth sighed. "I do not understand," Frederick stammered, confused at the sudden change. He looked back and forth at the Emperor and Elizabeth. Giving Frederick a patient smile, Elizabeth explained, "There were some in the Empire who believed that you had betrayed us." She glanced over at the Emperor and his children. "Based on my years of experience, I was confident that this was not the case. From the reports I received, my guess is that we have our new friends to thank for those crushing defeats. The timing of the city and the defeats by this new group is too much of a coincidence." The Emperor turned to the woman behind him. "Lady Ash, what do you think of this?" Helania glanced over at the woman, who also looked at her and seemed to be able to see through the mask. Looking back to the Emperor, the woman stated, "Though there are some concerns on the number of people assigned to excavating the tower, I do not think there will be an issue to the greater plan." She smiled, appearing unconcerned with such matters. Motioning to one of the maids to bring her a seat, she confidently walked over and sat on the chair. There was a feeling of serene confidence surrounding her, contrary to the mindset of some of the members. "Lady Ash, I do not mean to be disrespectful, but is the tower essential? The amount of resources being diverted to it is nearly crippling the Empire." Samworth tried to explain, but appeared hesitant about stepping on her toes. "To allow the Emperor to reach his desired goal, the tower is needed to accomplish this," Lady Ash answered. "With the wisdom of Lady Ash and the resources from my father, the Emperor, we will be able to accomplish our goals of purifying this continent and provide a safe place for humans to thrive in." The Emperor's daughter addressed Samworth and the room. Several members began clapping joyously at the declaration. A couple of them started chanting, "Emperor Lucifer! Emperor Lucifer! Emperor Lucifer!" Raising his hands to calm the room, the Emperor looked at each member, a confident smile on his face. "As my daughter has stated, we have for far too long have had to deal with non-humans acting as if they have a place in civilized society. These ideas must be squashed and washed away so that those who are pure of heart can rebuild this land. Through the hard efforts of Lady Ash and the people she represents, the tower that was discovered has allowed us to take a step in gaining dominance over all those who would oppose us." Taking a moment to let this information sink in, the Emperor continued, "For the first time, humans will be able to influence the overflow and use it as a weapon." He raised the fist into the air and slammed it onto the table. Meeting such a statement was silence, but once the implications were understood, everyone stood up and cheered. Even Samworth looked rejuvenated by such a reveal. Though Helania and her servants stood up, she soaked in the knowledge she had gained. Even with the overflow, Helania knew that there was no way for the Empire to be a threat. What was concerning was how the woman known as Lady Ash had figured out where this tower was located. Feelings of admiration for her master passed through her as she understood further how great he was able to sense these machinations. "Mistress, I believe that this tower is what our master was talking about when he asked for Mistress to investigate his suspicions." Astaroth voiced her idea to Helania. Helania nodded her head in agreement. For the humans to somehow stumble on top of something as powerful as a tower, which could influence the overflow, meant that plans were being set in motion beyond the limited understanding of these creatures. Regardless of how confident she was of her own ability and her master, it would be prudent to take caution. From the reports she received from the other Guardians, even the people who created this planet were unable to eliminate the monsters which made up the overflow. The question would be whether this tower was something left behind by those ancient beings, or was placed after the fact by someone else. "It looks as if it is time to return to my master," Helania thought to herself as she looked at the woman calmly sitting in her chair, who was staring back at Helania.